Milwaukee has lost three remarkable Black businesswomen. Delois Sims, one of the founders and shareholders of Legacy Bank, Dr. Jeanette Mitchell, founder of the African American Leadership Alliance of Milwaukee and an early investor in Legacy Bank where she was also a board member, and Cecelia Gilbert, a solution-driven strategist with the City of Milwaukee Department of Public Works. Margaret Henningsen, founder of Legacy Bank, the first commercial bank chartered by women in 1998, knew all three women and would share what made them special. Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
Let's talk about Delois Sims. How did you first meet?
So Dee and I, when we were growing up, we went to the same church. She sang in the chancel choir. She was about to graduate from North Division when I started there, and then they built Robert Fulton and moved all of us out of North Division. But so that was how I knew her. You know, as we began to evolve into adults and do the things we were doing, she did a lot of lending, small businesses and commercial loans. And I did a lot of lending for people who wanted to become homeowners. So it was like the two of us had gravitated toward this and sort of took over the market for what was happening. And there were lots of other lenders out there, but I think you're probably aware of the fact that there also was quite a bit of discrimination in lending. And both of us fought that discrimination and make sure that our customers got those loans. So we became, you know, friends and knew each other that way.
And how did you get to meet Dr. Mitchell?
Oh my goodness. I think everybody knew Jeanette. I can't even remember when I first saw her and went, oh, this woman is the bomb. But before she started her own consulting, which everybody encouraged her to do, she worked at other places, Cardinal Stritch, she worked at AT&T. One of those places where she worked, we served on a committee together. And that's how I got to see how intense and, what's the word I'm looking for here, how serious Jeanette was about creating this space for, you know, for people to become leaders in the city of Milwaukee. And for other people not to say who should be our leaders, but that we should determine who should be our leaders. And she filled the people up that got involved with her. This is how you become a leader.
Yes. And Cecelia Gilbert, I understand that you were very good friends with her.
Cecelia was a very good friend of my husband. And so you could ask Cecelia for anything. And because I was very involved in the community and always doing something, one of the first people I would go to was Cecelia. Plus, she knew all the gossip too. So that was a lot of fun, but she was really a great person. I was so shocked, you know, to find out that she had passed as well. So I'm just feeling a little bit drained right now because these three women who I have learned to love and appreciate and respect are just all of a sudden gone.
Now, when you formed Legacy Bank, was the thought always to have women in leadership positions?
Yes, and I had arguments and disputes and conversations with people about, you know, why can't men? I said they can invest, you know, they can buy shares, they can provide resources to us, they can come work at the bank. But this bank is going to be founded by three African American women. And that's kind of how I left it. And so I would not back down from that. I just wanted it to be women because it had never been done before. We were the first women in the history of the state of Wisconsin's Department of Financial Institutions to ever charter a commercial bank. And it was 1999 when we did that, and we were the first women. Just think about that, how old this state is compared to when we started Legacy Bank. And then countrywide, we were only the second group of women to ever charter a commercial bank. And the first group didn't even last a year.
What does their loss mean for the business community here?
Oh, I don't know if we have enough time to talk about what the loss means, but all of them though imparted their knowledge to people. Dee was so good at making sure that anybody who wanted to be a lender like her, be in banking, that they understood what that meant. Jeanette, her whole reason for starting her own business around creating leaders is that she wanted us to have control of the leaders and how we shape them to make Milwaukee a better place, to make people a better place, to take what Jeanette had imparted to them and give it to the other men and women in our community. Same thing with Cecelia. Even after she said 100 times, like I'm retired, she just kept right on giving and making sure that people had the answers to questions that nobody else wanted to give us.